Welcome back to Ballin. Ladies and gentlemen, March is upon us. Tomorrow marks the start of March Madness. So we've assembled the forces here for an emergency podcast episode today. Ben Rickovicius, Beckett Calkins, Nick Boyd. Everybody's here. We're going to break down, what you need to be looking out for in the tournament. Maybe some bracket busters. Who's going to upset and go on a big run this year. And of course, our predictions so you can copy us and win a lot of money. So, yeah, wait. No gambling unless you're, under the age in your respective state.
I think he was more referencing the fact
Did
that
you just say unless you're under the age in your respective
over.
Ben likes underage gambling. Confirmed.
Anyways.
Before we get it cooking, our poor Quinnipiac Bobcats.
Let's have a moment in silence for that.
Both the men's and women's teams suffered first-round exits in the MAC tournament. The men got whooped by my hometown Marist Red Foxes, and the women lost a close one that they should have won against the Manhattan Jaspers. And then Iona ended up winning it in both. So the MAC tourney did not go the way either of us thought or hoped. As one person said so eloquently, it didn't end the way we wanted it to, but it ended.
It did end.
Definitely
Anyways,
ended.
On that fantastic note, Nick, Beckett, what do you guys want to just tell the people at home, what are players in this tournament specifically that you got your eyes on? Who are you watching for to go off?
I know
Nick
Nick just told me. Nick just told me. You lead us off, Nick, because I know you got.
You want me to lead us off? I got three guys that I'm really liking. Guy number one, Oral Roberts point guard, Max Abmas. This guy is a stud. He's got Oral Roberts. I'm pretty sure they're still undefeated. I don't think they've lost a game yet in conference this season. And he's averaging over 20 a game. I want to say he's a fifth-year grad student. I'm pretty sure that's correct. And man, I am a fan of undersized point guards who can ball. This guy can do it all. He's a good scorer, great passer, and he's on a team that I think, not to spoil anything, I think this team could make some interesting noise again because they've been really good this season. They're a 12 seed, and that's one of those magic seed numbers that can make some noise in the first round, maybe even the second round. So yeah, Max Abmas, I really like this guy. Really like him.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't he on the Oral Roberts team a few years ago who made that magical run? So
I'm pretty sure he's in his fifth year with the team. So he's been with the squad a long time. He knows how to make it happen, how to get it done. Really looking forward to watching him in that first round.
Oh yeah.
Are they playing Duke? No,
they're playing Duke.
Right?
First round.
And I think if both those teams got more favorable matchups, I would have them both at least in the Sweet 16. But
I agree.
That's a really good first round matchup.
Fantastic first round matchup.
Probably the best 5-12 matchup we're going to see in the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Beckett.
I think Miami Drake could be a pretty good matchup.
Yeah.
And I mean, we'll get to predictions later, but St. Mary's VCU, we'll see.
A lot of good ball going to be had in the next week and a half.
Definitely. It's all a toss-up this year.
It is.
All right, let's see.
I kind of like it.
A player that I'm going to say to watch out for, I'm going to go to Miami. I just mentioned that. I'm going to go Isaiah Wong. I mean, he's really their best player. I think Miami has the best backcourt in probably college basketball. I know Baylor's got three really good guards as well. Miami's undersized, and they're just led by the guards. Wong is a great two-way player. They got to the Elite Eight last year. They upset Jabari Smith and Auburn. Oh, no. Very sad. I'm hoping Auburn can maybe get the opportunity to get their vengeance on Isaiah Wong. But Miami's a team that you just don't want to see. Jim Larrañaga is a fantastic coach. And I think even though they're undersized, they'll get by Drake. I think there's definitely a chance that this Miami team could make another run past not even just the round of 64, but round of 32, maybe Sweet 16. These guys could keep going and win a lot of games. And Isaiah Wong's a player to look out for sure.
Yeah, I got to see him live actually against Maryland earlier this year. Two teams that, spoiler alert, I have them both winning their first round matchups. I definitely like both of the way that they played. Isaiah Wong had, I believe, 20 points the game that I went to see him. Really special talent. I think he'll be drafted this year in a good spot. So it'll be interesting to see how far he can take this Miami team. I think they're in a decent spot, actually, bracket-wise, where, they could get some favorable matchups and make some noise.
Yep.
Yeah, I like the Isaiah Wong pick. I got another guy. You mentioned those Baylor guards. Keontae George. I've had my eye on this dude all season. I think he's going to be maybe a lottery pick in the NBA draft. Oh my goodness, this guy is so good. He's so fun to watch. He's shown that he can put up like over almost 30 a game. I think he has put up 30 a game at least once this year. I'm trying to look at his splits. Yeah, 30, 32 on 10 of 18 shooting against West Virginia. That's not bad. To put it mildly. But he's the kind of guy when he's hot, Baylor can beat anybody, I think. When he's red hot, Baylor's a monster to deal with.
Yeah.
That's a really good pick. I saw Keontae George at Hoop Hall last year. Super impressive.
Yeah. He's
let's see. I'm gonna go with another guy I saw at Hoop Hall last year. And a guy that I like. He's been rising up NBA draft boards all year from the 1-seeded Houston Cougars. I'm gonna go with Jarris Walker. I think Marcus Sasser's been hurt lately. Walker's been just heating up, getting better throughout the whole year. And this guy's going to be a lottery pick, in my opinion. Little forward center breed. He's not super big, but he's, 6'8", 6'9". He's solid, probably 240, 250 pounds. And he can shoot the ball a little. So I think if that shot keeps progressing, Houston's obviously probably the best defensive team in the nation, the best defensive team in this tournament. But I think Jarris Walker is a player that can impact the game on both ends of the floor, not just defensively, but he's also shown that he can stretch the floor a little and obviously physical specimen down low.
Yeah, I think he's one of the best power forwards in college basketball right now. He's a really good player. That's a good pick. I think the final guy I'm kind of really excited to see maybe go nuts, Trayce Jackson-Davis on
good pick.
Indiana Hoosiers. This man, he got on my radar because there was a lot of speculation that he was going to get drafted last year, and then he pulled out to go back to it for his senior year. He has been putting up numbers this year. I think he's averaging a double-double, 20 and 10, and he's got Indiana cooking as a 4 or a 5 seed. I think they're a 4.
I think.
Yeah,
matching up against Kent State, I want to say.
Kent State's good though.
Kent State's good. I think with Trayce Jackson-Davis though, I think Indiana's the better team. He's a fun guy to watch. He puts up numbers. He's a workhorse. I think he's going to have a really, really good tournament. I'm looking forward to him.
So that's another good pick. I like Indiana a lot. I also like Kent State a lot, as you said, Ben. My final player to look out for. I'm probably forgetting a few guys.
There's a lot of good players in this tournament.
I know. I like a lot of Creighton's team. I'm just gonna throw that one out there. But we'll get to that more later when we're talking about individual, team by team and matchup and stuff. So my last player, I'm gonna go with Jordan Hawkins from UConn. 6'5" sophomore. Guy can shoot the ball, shoot the lights out. He's become more and more less streaky, I don't know if I need to say more, less and less streaky from 3. He's shooting about 38% on the year, shooting almost 8 threes per game. I think that could be huge. UConn's got a first-round matchup with Rick Pitino's Iona team. They play similar styles of basketball, but I think that's a game that, Jordan Hawkins could just light up the Iona defense. And then in the second round, they're going to get a team, probably either St. Mary's or VCU. If VCU can pull off the upset, I like UConn in that game again, and I like Jordan Hawkins matched up with those style defenses. I think Hawkins could have a big day.
And UConn kind of has the culture to kind of, go on some of those runs. So that's 100%. Hawkins is really good. He's another guy that's been in a lot of draft talk as like a late first rounder, early second rounder kind of guy. I think he's going to have a solid 22.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people have kind of picked UConn to go far in the tournament this year. I mean, just looking at the path, they were ranked, I believe, the number 2 team in the country at one point this season, or maybe it was 3. I know they were up there.
They were top 5 at one point. I don't remember exactly where.
Started the season 14-0.
Yeah, conference play really just bit them in the ass this year. Great teams in their conference with like Xavier, Marquette, Providence. So many good teams in that Big East. So
all those teams made the tourney too. Which
it'll definitely be really interesting to see if 2 of those teams match up against each other later and what kind of performance we get to see. So I guess kind of taking off that note, loved all those players you guys picked. And I think some of it actually foreshadows some of my bracket buster picks. So I had 3 teams and a 4th bonus one. So
4 teams.
4 teams, but yes, 4 teams. So my first team is Arkansas. I think Arkansas could give people problems this year when they're picking out their brackets. First round, they match up against, where are they?
They got Illinois first round.
They got Illinois first round.
It's an 8-9 matchup. That's a tough one to pick.
And I've seen a lot of people picking Illinois this year over them. And I think I think that they'll be able to get past Illinois, or excuse me, be able to get past Illinois, yeah, and then they're going to match up against Kansas probably. And a lot of people don't like Kansas this year. And I did a little research about, when a team wins March Madness, they go back next year, what happens? The results aren't good. A lot of these teams losing in the first, second, third round of March Madness. And I think that if a team early on here is going to give Kansas problems, it's either going to be Arkansas or UConn if they end up beating, winner of UConn, Illinois. So I think, Nick Smith Jr., a guy who's, on people's draft boards coming into this year, could give him problems. So that's my first bracket buster pick.
That's definitely a good pick.
Yeah, and they got Anthony Black too. He's a pure bona fide baller. I do like this Arkansas team. I don't know. I'm not gonna say how far. I'm not gonna say how far I think they go because they have a very tough path. I think if they get out of the round of 32, watch out.
Yeah.
Watch out.
That's something that I had in mind making this list. Not necessarily all of these teams I thought would get out, or even in my bracket had them getting out. But if they do, watch out because they.
I really like that West region a lot.
Yeah,
like down
that's gonna
there.
be exciting to watch.
Arkansas, Jordan Walsh too, another 5-star.
Yeah.
He's been hot lately. Really good, well coached. Elite 8 back-to-back years. Good pick.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they made it there this year.
Definitely possible.
We will get back to that later. So my next pick, we talked about them a little bit already. Oral Roberts. They have a very tough first-round matchup against Duke. Very tough. But I've seen so many people picking Duke because, yes, let's give Duke credit. They won their last 9 games. They've been on fire. I myself picked Duke. But Oral Roberts has been playing fantastic basketball this season. They're even looking better coming into the tournament than they did that one year they went on that magical run. And that's pretty crazy to say. We've talked about some of their players already, but honestly, the experience of, the coaching staff, having been here before and everything that comes along with that, I wouldn't be surprised if Duke gets upset in the first round and Oral Roberts goes on a crazy run. Because remember, Duke's head coach, I forget his name off the top of my head.
John Shire.
Thank you. This is his first season coaching Duke. So a lot to prove. And I mean, winning the ACC, right? I mean, that's pretty big, but it's March is different, as we know. So a really interesting first round matchup to see.
Yeah.
Then as far as looking at, what comes next on the bracket here, like if they were to get an upset, let me just scroll over here, this bracket. Oh yeah, here we go. Then they take on probably winner of Tennessee, Louisiana. So, and Tennessee is they're a little banged up right now. They're without some key players, so you never know really what could happen. So
yeah,
Oral Roberts.
Yeah. That injury to Zakai Ziegler for Tennessee is definitely brutal.
It's big. I mean, I had Tennessee kind of like in my mind coming before playoffs even really started, going kind of far into this tournament. But, the injury to Ziegler, that's big. So they're a reason why I have Oral Roberts on potential upset alert. And then my third team, we mentioned them also already. I saw them live, Miami. I think a lot of people are riding the Drake wave. They're thinking, okay, Drake had a fantastic season. Do not get me wrong. They played great basketball this year, but I just don't see them upsetting Miami here in this first round. I think Miami's too talented. I think they're rolling right now, basketball perspectively. And I think they can go on a run here. I mean, looking at, again, as I have for these last few teams, looking at just the bracket outlook, let me pull it up. Zoom's giving me problems. All right, yeah, looking at the bracket stuff, I mean, they get winner of Indiana, Kent State. And I think Indiana's been good this year, but I think Miami is a team that could, as we're talking about with Isaiah Wong and all those guys, could upset Indiana if given the opportunity. So I think this is a team that really could surprise a lot of people, could end up going to Sweet 16 in my mind. It's very possible. So 3 teams just right off the top that I think a lot of people are sleeping on or picking upsets over or that kind of a thing. So definitely watch out for those teams. And, if stuff goes right for them, they could have, massive jumps in this tournament. And then I know I told you I had a bonus one, and is it a bonus or is it a fourth? I don't know. I put Colgate as my 4th bonus team because Colgate's been playing fantastic 3-point basketball this year. They're shooting the lights out. And Texas scares me a little bit. I really do like them. I do have them going far in my own bracket, but the fact that I even hesitated, the thought slipped into my mind. Do I go Colgate upset here? I eventually said no pretty quickly. But
Wow.
I think Colgate could surprise people. Will they win that game against Texas? Probably not. But I think they're going to put out a really good showing. I think it's going to be a close game. So that's kind of my hot take, my big upset alert. Watch out for Colgate to impress people. That's all I got to say.
Like that pick too.
Okay.
All those are good teams.
That's a fun pick. I do like it. A lot of the as you said, there's a lot of games that are a toss up.
Yeah,
Like when I was making my own bracket, swear to God, trying to pick the 8 9s and 10 7s,
they're tough.
it could go either way. Could go either way. One team I really like a lot that we'll probably talk about later. I really, really like Northwestern this year. They have, I think they showed early in the year when they beat Purdue, they have the potential to do some wacky shit and knock off some really good teams. I'm not saying they're gonna go insane, but like watch them. Watch them.
They could put
They're
up a
gonna
good
be fun. And they don't have any like crazy players. I think their best player is Boo Weeze, however the hell you pronounce his name. But like they as a team, they play real good team basketball and shit, they threw off Purdue earlier in the year. And I know Purdue is not the best team in the country anymore, but at the time they were. And just the ability to be able to throw off a top level team like that is what you need to be able to do in March.
I love Northwestern's defense. I just don't know if they have the shooting or like scoring abilities. That's what scares you.
Defense wins chips though.
It does, and they could get matched up with UCLA in the second round. Most likely is what that would be, and then the UCLA's without Jalen Clark, their best defender. So you never know. I don't hate that pick either.
Yeah.
For a lot of these teams, the stars could align in many different ways, and a lot of these teams have like either the defensive capabilities to hang with the big guys or the offensive capabilities to hang with the big guys. A lot of these teams, have a path where they could make a run, an impressive run. It's just kind of all about where do the pieces fall, and also it's all about upsets. I think this year too, which is massive because we talked about it on an earlier episode, or maybe we even talked about it a little bit also like off air, but the tournament this year is probably as wide open as it's been in years. I think really any team could make a crazy run this year. Marquette's kind of emerged as a dominant team in the tournament. Could we see them make a run to the Elite Eight or something like that? So it's so wide open this year. It's so close, and one upset could just really throw the whole thing off. So leading into that, do we want to get into our picks here? Because I know we got this.
Yeah, we can start.
Yeah,
We're moving real fast, but I know this is going to take up a lot of time because it's pretty big. Do you want to start with like the first four? Because that ASU Nevada game is going to be good, and there were some good games last night. If you guys watched that, if you want to talk about those for a minute,
I liked what I saw. Jumping right in, I liked what I saw a lot from Pitt in that second game yesterday. They were without their starting center and still found a way to defeat Mississippi State. They only got a little lucky last play. Mississippi State got a wide open three for the win. Didn't fall. But I liked what I saw from Pitt and that coaching staff getting back there for the first time in, I want to say, 8 or 9 years. That might be wrong. And then Texas A&M, Corpus Christi, Southeast Missouri State. I don't know if either of you guys watched that. I watched a lot of it. Just the absolute foul fest. Southeast Missouri State had 3 guys foul it. They had a few more guys with 4 fouls. They couldn't pull it off. Corpus Christi stuck out the win, but it was really due to the foul trouble for Southeast Missouri State, and Southeast Missouri State couldn't make their free throws at all. So I don't know. I think A&M Corpus Christi, I keep saying crispy, is getting bounced first round by Bama, but nice to see them get a tournament victory yesterday.
That's usually how those 116s go. We actually got Farley Dickinson, Texas Southern tipping off in like 20 minutes. And then Nevada, Arizona State tonight. That's the one I'm really tuned in on because I like this Arizona State team. Yeah. If they can beat Nevada, I think they could do something fun in the tourney.
Yeah, I think
just gonna say that.
You mentioned Texas Southern. These guys are in the tournament with a 14-20 overall record. So
good point.
That's pretty funny. That being said, I'm gonna pick them just out of nowhere. Don't know anything. I'm gonna say they're gonna beat Fairleigh Dickinson. In the second game, Arizona State, Nevada matchup, West Coast teams. I think Nevada's a better, more consistent team, but Arizona State's just got like that higher potential. Those flashes we saw them with the Cambridge brothers. They just hit a game winner against Arizona in that rivalry game. So I would say Arizona State, but that's another toss-up.
Yeah, No, I like those picks. And I got to quote Santino here for a second because last night he delivered an all-time quote, which, it's valid. The NIT stands for not in tournament, And, at the end of the day here, like, are these teams going to make any noise? I think Pitt has the best chance out of all of them to do something. I like Pitt. They had to hold their breaths there for a second at the end of that game last night, but some decent games. But I'll be honest, I don't really see any of these teams doing anything in the tournament at all. Like, maybe there's a little bit of optimism for a few of them, but it's just I don't see anything happening.
With the 16 seeds, yeah, they're really just here to put their school in the national level, to be honest.
Yeah. Real quick,
that's usually how it goes. What's up?
Keith Savage could you guys hear that ringing or no?
I did hear the ringing a little bit. Is that a Savage bomb?
He just FaceTimed, but I declined his call. But I don't know if he know. Does he know we're recording?
No, yeah, I don't think so.
Do. He does know we're recording.
He knows we're making something.
I told him we're recording the March Madness episode. And
did you have
Savage bomb?
Did you have a Savage bomb you wanted to deliver?
It will be revealed in due time when we get to that. We get to that process. Oh, he's here.
No, Savage bomb. I don't know if you can hear him.
What's up, Savage?
You hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes.
I told Ben one, but I'm changed to another one. Northwestern makes the Elite Eight.
Savage bomb.
Nick just said they were going to make a run.
Wow.
Northwestern.
Father and son thinking together on this one.
All right, he hung up. So that's our Savage bomb for the episode.
I'll tell you the one that
Northwestern to the Elite Eight. Okay,
told me something different.
That's really bold. I'm not gonna lie. I completely interrupted Nick, so let's let Nick go.
I forgot what I was gonna say. I'm gonna be honest. I was saying, for 16 seeds, getting into the tournament is really the victory in and of itself. Because most of these teams already won their conference chip. They're kind of just here to represent their school nationally. But also, kind of have fun against really good competition. Get your name out there, do all that fun stuff. These 11 seeds are kind of like one of those magic numbers where they can sometimes make something happen, go on some Sweet 16 runs, like those 10, 11, 9, 8, 13 even. That's like the sweet spot for where you want to hit your upsets. Even 15. I mean, we saw St. Peter's do it last year. There's going to be some 15 seeds that do something wild and crazy here.
Yep. I've got an 11 seed winning, Nick.
Okay. Do I have?
Well, let's jump into it.
Let's do that. Let's do it.
Where do you guys want to start? What do you guys do?
Do you want to go game by game, or do you want to just
first round game by game? Pick your winner and say very minimum, if anything.
All right. First game: Bama, Texas A&M, Corpus Christi.
Bama.
Okay.
Maryland, West Virginia.
West Virginia.
Maryland.
West Virginia.
Okay. Interesting.
San Diego State, Charleston.
San Diego State.
Yeah, I got San Diego State too.
I like Charleston. Charleston's very good. I just think San Diego State's, tougher competition.
And I don't know. I read something. I forget the exact year. San Diego State hasn't won a tournament game in forever. Like, it's been a long time. Mm-hmm. They've been a really good basketball program.
Yeah. If you're that could be another good under the radar bracket buster. Charleston.
Yeah,
I didn't pick them.
3 losses all year.
Yeah.
Didn't pick them, but
everybody has track of their picks, right? So when we get
made my own thing.
Okay, good. So when we get to
we can make a group after this.
Stuff will be a little bit different. Yeah.
We can make a group on the March Madness app or whatever after this.
Do that too. Yeah.
Virginia or Furman?
UVA.
I'm going Virginia here.
I agree.
Yeah, Furman's good, but UVA.
Yeah. I don't love UVA either this year, but probably just because they double dribbled. Creighton or NC State?
This is going to be a really good matchup. NC State's got some ballers, Terquavian Smith. I'm taking Creighton in this one.
Yes. Big Creighton guy right here. I see him doing things this year, so I'm going Creighton.
Again, wouldn't be surprised if NC State somehow pulled it off, but I have more faith in Creighton.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with that. And Ben, I'm also a huge Creighton guy. Baylor, UCSB.
Baylor.
Yeah, Baylor's just too talented at the guard spot, so Baylor.
Yeah. Mizzou and Utah State 7-10 matchup, Nick.
I picked Mizzou in this one.
Oh, Nick, we're disagreeing. I went with the upset, Utah State.
I like it.
I don't know what this is, but whether we're talking NBA or college, I'm agreeing with Nick again. I went with Mizzou. So far the difference is it's been between us and Ben. I'm agreeing with Nick on everything. But
I'm
Arizona,
gonna change that soon. I'm gonna change that soon. Not on
Arizona
this one,
Princeton round out last game of the first round in the South region.
Zona.
Let's go with never mind, Arizona.
Yeah.
Sorry,
The Ivy Leaguers.
Sorry, Ivy Leaguers.
You guys want to jump down to the East region?
Yeah, jump down to East.
All right. We'll go Purdue against the winner of the game that's starting right about now, Texas Southern, Fairleigh Dickinson.
It doesn't matter who wins that game, Purdue.
Yeah, I agree there. I mean, it's Purdue.
It's Purdue. 8-9 matchup, Memphis against Florida Atlantic. FAU only has 3 losses all year.
This was kind of a toss-up for me. I took Memphis.
I'm riding with Keith Savage on this one, and I'm going Memphis. He said,
Was that his first hot take?
His first hot take was that they're going to make a crazy run this year. So
Okay.
We'll see.
Okay.
I kind of agree with Keith. It's a little preview, but they just did beat Houston in the AAC tournament.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Penny Hardaway might have something brewing there.
yeah,
Duke, Oral Roberts. We already talked about this matchup. Nick, who do you got?
We did already talk about this matchup, and I talked about Max Abmas or Roberts. I'm riding with it.
yes,
Wow.
I like
I'm
that.
riding
I
with
like
it.
that. I like the confidence, but I'm still picking Duke.
Yeah, Duke's
just-
red. Listen, Duke is red hot.
Yeah.
They didn't start the season great, and they showed that they're not like invincible. And oh man, Oral Roberts has not lost a game all season. If there's a 12 seed I'm putting all my money on, it's this team.
I'm gonna agree with Ben. I'm going with Duke. I know I was praising Oral Roberts on the Ballin podcast a little while ago.
Yeah.
I love Oral Roberts. Duke's hot. They won 9 in a row. They won the ACC tournament.
I just realized I got to this point. I'm like, I need to make my bracket more fun because I picked like I've been reasonable for like the first 75% of this half. I need to be fun.
This Duke team reminds me too much of the 2019 Auburn team that was a 5 seed coming off the conference tournament win, just rolling at the right time, got off to a slow start, but they have the talent. I don't know. I really like what Duke got going. Tennessee as the 4 seed, 13 seed, Louisiana.
Tennessee, go Vols.
Yeah, I'm riding with Tennessee as well here. We'll see. It's going to be rough, banged up, but we'll see.
Yeah, I agree. Tennessee. Louisiana is like, I think of all the teams, I might know the least about Louisiana.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
I don't think anyone's talked about Louisiana.
I think they've just won their conference. I think is all that.
Out of
really
all the videos and Instagram reels and everything that I've heard about, the bracket this year, I think I've heard a total of one person pick Louisiana in this game.
I haven't heard anything about Louisiana.
Probably a Louisiana ally.
Which is scary, but we'll see.
All right, jumping down, big 6-11 matchup. In my opinion, I love this first round matchup.
Great
Kentucky, Providence.
Yeah.
Bryce Hopkins revenge game.
I was so tempted to pick Providence in this one. I went Kentucky. Would not be surprised if Providence pulls it off.
Well, you mentioned my guy Bryce. I'm riding with Providence here.
Okay.
I'm excited. I think they're going to surprise people.
Ben, I agree with you. Again, I'm going Providence. Kentucky's really good. They are really good. Coach
they
Cal
do
Kentucky,
always lose in the first
They
2
haven't
rounds,
won a
though.
tournament game in a while.
Yeah.
St. Peter's did them dirty last year. I think Bryce
Yeah.
Hopkins might have a revenge game up his sleeve.
Yeah.
We'll go down Kansas State, Montana State.
I picked Kansas State in this one. This is 3-14. This is a pretty shoe-in. What's his name? Keontae Johnson. Very, very good at basketball. Love that dude.
I agree.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Did Quinnipiac play Montana State, or am I like?
They did. Quinnipiac beat Montana State.
Wasn't it up in Canada, right?
Montreal. Yeah.
So for that reason alone, I am picking Kansas State to win this game, because if you lose to the Quinnipiac Bobcats, no, you're not going anywhere.
Notice that Hofstra didn't make the tourney either.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nick.
All right. We're going to jump to Michigan State, USC. That's Southern Cal, not South Carolina. 7-10 matchup, Tom Izzo in March.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I'm going to ride with the Trojans. Trojans over Spartans.
Wow.
See, I have a few brackets, and it's pretty evenly split because I make a few different picks in each bracket depending on how I'm feeling.
Yep, I
But,
agree.
but I went with Michigan State here. Really good game. Probably one of the best first round matchups.
Agreed.
I'm going to go Michigan State as well. So, I don't know. I just trust Tom Izzo. But could be a sneaky upset pick. And jumping down last game of the first round in the East region, Marquette has the 2 seed, 15 seeded Vermont Catamounts.
Vermont's good. It's 215, so Marquette, but I do really like this Marquette team. Really like this Marquette team.
I have a friend who goes to Marquette. He would be livid if I didn't pick them here. I do really like Vermont's defense and how they force turnovers this season. They've had a really nice season, but sorry, Vermont. Marquette's going to beat you probably by double digits is what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I'm going Marquette. No explanation needed. Except for Shaka Smart. I'll just say that.
All right. We're going top Midwest.
Yeah.
All right. Other side, baby.
Midwest. Houston against Northern Kentucky.
Bro, I don't even know where Northern Kentucky is. Let's go Houston.
Yeah, I'm riding with Houston too here.
Houston. All right, guys. Don't make me mad. 8 seed Iowa, 9 seed Auburn. Yeah. Ben, who you picking?
Okay. Beckett, we're going to have a little moment here. You ready?
Yeah.
I'm going with Auburn. Defense over offense. Picking Auburn. They got one more win in their bag this year.
Take it. Nick?
I also picked Auburn.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I also picked Auburn.
Trying to please Beckett.
I also picked Auburn, but I'm not confident at all. They're 3-7 in their last 10, and they've lost a lot of close games. They're all really good teams, though. Jumping down, Miami Drake, 5-12 matchup.
Big matchup. You want me to go first here? Yeah, I was better.
You. I do like Drake a lot.
Sorry, Drake.
Yeah, Drake, good team, but Miami's got too much talent. Too much talent.
All right, 4-13 Indiana, Kent State.
Trace Jackson Davis, baby. Indiana. Go get him.
This is going to be a really close game, but I also went with Indiana as well. Really good game, though.
No, that was the women's team I'm thinking of. They played Kent State.
That was the women's team that played Indiana.
They lost to them.
By like
40.
Kent
State. And Kent State.
They played Kent State. That's right.
This is definitely one of my favorite first-round matchups as well. And I've split, like you said, Ben, I've got a number of different brackets going. This bracket, I don't really know what I'm looking at right now, but I picked Kent State in this one. This is a toss-up. I really like Indiana. I like Jalen Hood-Schifino, very talented freshman on Indiana.
He's very good.
I'll go with Kent State because why not? I don't know. I just have
Indiana. Indiana's got those two double last name killers on their team. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm riding with them.
I'll go Kent State for now.
I like the spiciness. I like the spice.
All right, then Iowa State or Pitt.
I made this pick before Pitt won. I'm still gonna rock with Iowa State though, because Pitt's been, as you said, kind of streaky coming into this game. And Iowa State, Iowa State's always got talent.
I agree.
I like Iowa State here too.
Xavier or Kennesaw State.
I'm gonna go with the X. Give me Xavier in this one.
I have another friend that goes to Xavier. Two of my friends, going to schools Big East schools that, having a good year this year. So I would be
Big East a very, very deep conference this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Xavier. A&M, Penn State 7-10 matchup. I think real quick before we get into the picks, both these teams were severely underseeded. I think A&M's way better than a 7 seed. I think Penn State's better than a 10 seed. That being said, they're playing each other first round. We got.
Yeah. I think this is going to be another one of like the best first round matchups we're going to get. I took Penn State in this one. No real major reason. I just kind of looking at the rosters, looking at the streaks they were on, and I don't know. Penn State just kind of felt right to me.
I have a reason for picking Penn State, and we talked about it earlier. If you beat the Bobcats, you're doing good things. So Penn State crushed us this year. I really like Penn State this year. They're gonna give people problems this year. That's all I'll say.
I'm going A&M. They're 16-3 in their last 19 games. They're just cooking, something like that. I don't know. I like A&M a lot.
We want to do Texas and Colgate first because I feel like we can just talk about that in 2 seconds, and it's the end of like a division
Texas Colgate, Longhorns, baby.
Horns down, except I'm picking them, so horns up, I guess.
Yeah, we're riding with Texas on this one, but like I said earlier, Colgate got to impress people a little bit.
Final 16.
Oh God, yeah. Am I supposed to be doing this? Okay, Kansas or Kansas or Howard?
Going with the Jayhawks.
So we talked about it
Brady
earlier.
Dick.
He's good.
He's so good. we talked about the narrative of, the champions losing early here in this tournament. It's not going to be the first round this year. Sorry, Howard. Although you've put together a solid year. I was impressed with them this year, but Kansas by a good margin.
Yeah, I mean, any team that makes the tourney, very impressive season.
Yeah.
But it's a 1 and a 16. These usually go in favor of the 1 seed.
Yeah.
Yeah, Howard's not UMBC. Kansas is going to beat him by 30, I think. It's going to be a blowout. Arkansas, Illinois, another really, really good first-round matchup. Talented teams, both ways, streaky teams, but who do you like?
Yeah. And Ben, you highlighted Arkansas as a bracket buster. I picked them to win this matchup, so hopefully that doesn't happen for me.
Yeah, I went with the Razorbacks here. They're gonna be a force to be reckoned with here in the tournament.
I agree. I just saw the force that was Arkansas. They eliminated Auburn from the SEC tournament. I really like Arkansas. They're really well coached. Eric Musselman's legit. It concerns me that they're run by a lot of young players, but really talented. I got them getting past Illinois. 5-12 matchup in Albany, St. Mary's, VCU.
Give me St. Mary's. I like VCU a lot, but St. Mary's also good squad. And did they win their conference? I'm pretty sure they won their conference, so they're coming in on a hot streak.
So, yeah, I'm going to St. Mary's here as well. Not really too much else to talk about here. I just think they outgun VCU. So,
I went VCU. This was one of the 5-12 matches that I picked. I don't know. VCU is just consistently a good basketball school, and I think it's time for St. Mary's to get upset. But great year for them, like you guys mentioned.
Yeah.
UConn, Iona, 2 Northeast teams playing in the Northeast in Albany again. Who do you like?
Going with Ben's logic on this one, Iona lost to Quinnipiac once this season. UConn is winning by 45.
Stuff, Nick.
No, I'm kidding. UConn's winning. UConn's going to
win. So, yeah, I'm going with UConn here as well. All three of us have seen a lot of Iona, and I've seen a decent amount of UConn. A lot of people have talked about UConn going on a crazy run this year. I think they're gonna do something magical this year. And I think Iona, I mean, I don't know. I do like Iona though. Like if they played against someone else, I could see them, maybe upsetting. It could be a good upset pick, but not against UConn. So I went UConn.
I agree. UConn's just too big, too talented. They play similar styles, and UConn's just better at what they do. TCU against the winner of Arizona State, Nevada.
This one's kind of hard to pick now because, honestly, because both I like ASU better than Nevada, and if ASU wins, I could see myself taking them over TCU as like an upset pick. As it is right now, because I don't know who they're going to play, I'm going to go TCU.
I'm going with the Frogs too. Give me TCU. They're still recovering from their tough loss to Georgia, but maybe this will make them feel a little bit better. First round.
TCU, 100%. Gonzaga, Grand Canyon.
Zags. I'm gonna go Gonzaga.
Gonzaga's, entering this place where they had Chet a few years ago, Suggs, some magical, March happenings. I think this year it's not going to be tough for them in the first round, so no upset here.
Yep, I got Zags as well. Northwestern team you talked about, Boise State. We know who Keith Savage like. Who do you guys like?
This is going to be another real good matchup in the first round. I'm hot on Northwestern. I'm taking them.
Give me Boise State.
Ooh, I think going Mountain West.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think they could surprise people here. I'll say this: I'm not too confident in Northwestern, which I know might be a little shocking, but I think at the end of the day, I think Boise State's going to play a better game. So
I don't hate it. I just think Mountain West teams struggle. They've tended to struggle in March Madness. Northwestern, not a lot of firepower on offense. They got the defense. They're used to this physical play. I'm going to go Northwestern. And then last game of the first round, UCLA, UNC Asheville. It's easy. For me, I got UCLA.
Yeah, UCLA.
I'm taking the Bruins as well.
All right, so I guess for the next all the rest of the round, since we'll have a few differences in our thing, we'll just kind of say it.
Just go over our Sweet 16s because that'll kind of, and then go from there to Elite Eight, Final Four.
You think that should we do it one at a time? What do you think, Beckett? I'm kind of conflicted on how to do the rest of this.
I would say go one at a time, but go really quick.
Yeah, really quick. Cool. I like
cool.
that.
right, so starting second round. Do we want to go?
We'll just
I would
Round
say,
then you.
Nick, you start, Ben, then you go.
All right,
Yeah.
word. In my round of 32, I got Bama beating West Virginia. Wow, I almost said that wrong. San Diego State losing to UVA. Baylor topping Creighton. Zona taking down Mizzou. Purdue beating Memphis. Tennessee taking down Oral Roberts. I don't think Oral Roberts wins 2 in a row, but maybe. But maybe. I really like Tennessee this year. Kentucky getting it done against Kansas State. And then Marquette taking down USC, flipping over to the other side of the bracket. Houston eliminating Beckett's Auburn Tigers, sorry. Indiana throwing off Miami. Some fun happening there. Xavier over Iowa State. Texas over PSU. Penn State. I don't know why it says PSU on the bracket. Kansas getting it done against Arkansas. UConn over St. Mary's. Gonzaga over TCU. And Northwestern over UCLA. We're getting spicy with it.
Whoa, that's interesting.
We're getting spicy with it.
I like that pick. All right, my round of 32. I have Bama over Maryland. I have Virginia over San Diego State. Upset alert, Creighton over Baylor. I've seen a few people go this way, and I kind of like it. I think Creighton's gonna, do things. Arizona State over Utah State. Another upset, Memphis over Purdue. I'm not all about Purdue this year. I think Memphis is. I feel like their ceiling is a little higher than Purdue this year. And then
That's a little crazy to say.
it's a little crazy,
but I don't hate it.
Crazy. It's a little crazy, but I just feel like at the end of the day, Purdue doesn't impress me as much as all the other one seeds do. So, continuing on, another upset, I guess, if you're looking at it like this, but honestly, I don't see it as an upset. Duke over Tennessee. What do we got here? Kansas State over Providence. Marquette over Michigan State. Beckett, like Nick, Auburn's out of here. Houston wins that round. Miami's beating Indiana. I have Iowa State beating Xavier.
Ooh, okay.
I have Texas beating Penn State. I have Arkansas beating Kansas. Going back to that narrative,
right.
These teams that win the previous year, they get bounced early. So,
We've got similar upsets.
Interesting. And then UConn beating St. Mary's. Then I have Gonzaga beating TCU. And I do have UCLA beating Boise State. So Beckett, bring us through 32.
All right, this I'm just realizing I filled this one out on paper. This is what I'm looking at. It's for like my family bracket thing. I did this last night pretty late. I don't know what I was thinking, but I'm just gonna go with it because I don't know. It's a little crazy. We'll go. I had West Virginia upsetting Bama. Yeah, I'm an Auburn fan. That's probably why I did that. Virginia over San Diego State. I really just don't think either of those teams are very good. Then we're going to Creighton or Baylor. I like Creighton as well. Missouri, Arizona. I got Arizona beating them. Memphis over Purdue. I did the same thing. Memphis is hot. I don't really know why. I don't really have any logic to that one. I also had Duke over Tennessee. I had Kansas State beating Providence. I know in another bracket, I think I have Providence going to the Elite Eight. I'm going to stick with it for the sake of this episode. Kansas State over Providence. Marquette over Michigan State. Houston over Auburn. I'm not that crazy, but at least I got Bama getting eliminated in the same round, so it evens out. But I do have Kent State beating Miami in this bracket. I don't hate it.
I don't hate it. It's a little fun.
It's really fun.
I'm not really sure why. I have Iowa State beating Xavier. This is full of upsets. I really don't know what was going through my head. Texas beating Texas A&M. Arkansas over Kansas. UConn beating VCU. TCU upsetting Gonzaga. There's way too many upsets going on in this bracket.
Yeah, there are a lot of upsets.
And then UCLA beating Northwestern. Got way too spicy.
On a similar way.
A lot of fun stuff going on, though.
Yeah.
A lot of fun stuff going on.
Before we move on to Sweet 16, you have Bama losing in the round of 32, and you were raving about Brandon Miller this morning. You said he's better than Victor Wembanyama.
I did not say that. I did not
say that.
I think there's potential. I really like Bama. I'm just gonna get this across. I really like Bama. I mean, I hate Bama, but I think they're a really good team. The thing that scares me about them is they are sloppy. They turn the ball over a lot. They're led by mostly freshmen, and Javon Quinley, who's a 6-year senior, shouldn't even still be allowed to play. And I don't know, the Brandon Miller, NATO, there's a lot of controversy surrounding them. That being said, I think the South region is probably the easiest region to get out of. I think Bama's got an absolute cakewalk to at least the Sweet 16, if not Elite 8, Final 4. But I just couldn't do it. I love Bob Huggins. He's one of my favorite coaches in college basketball. West Virginia is a team that I don't know a ton about, but it's Bob Huggins, and I just felt like picking against Bama. Realistically, they're probably going to win the national championship. That's their ceiling. I think I picked Bama at their absolute floor, losing in the second round.
Yeah.
Okay. On to the Sweet 16. This is where things get. This is kind of like the fun place, my favorite spot. Bama UVA, Bama, Baylor Arizona, Baylor. Really riding Baylor. Purdue Tennessee. You had Purdue going down first round. I got them going down this round. Tennessee over Purdue. Marquette eliminating Kentucky.
Okay.
Let's get it. I really like Marquette this year.
Yeah.
Where are we now? Houston, Indiana. Close, but I think Houston edges them. Xavier, Texas. I got Texas in this one. Kansas, UConn. Listen, Kansas is a very good team. We talked about them UConn magical runs. I'm buying into it. UConn. Give me the Huskies.
Okay.
And then Gonzaga will end Northwestern's year. They're real hot. They get into the Sweet 16. I don't think they get any further than that. I'm not going to go as spicy as Keith and say Elite 8.
Yeah, that's valid.
All right. Here we go. Sweet 16. I got Bama over Virginia because I think, they're not going to be at their absolute floor like Beckett. I have Arizona over Creighton. Creighton's run ends here. But, they do have – I think in my mind, they do have potential to beat Arizona in this situation, but I just don't see it right now in my mind. So, Duke over Memphis is the next game. I have Marquette over Kansas State. Okay, big upset. You ready? Miami over Houston.
You're buying into my Isaiah Wong hype.
Wow.
No,
Okay.
I made the graphic before you, but, I didn't know you were going to say Isaiah Wong, but I'm a big believer in Miami this year. And then Texas beats Iowa State. UConn ends the Razorback season, so no more Arkansas magic. And then UCLA edges Gonzaga.
Okay.
Picks.
I don't hate it.
Mhm.
Let's see. So mine would be West Virginia against Virginia. Interesting matchup there. I'll go West Virginia to the Elite 8 because why not? This bracket is ridiculous. Creighton, Arizona. Why not another upset? I took Creighton to the Elite 8. Memphis and Duke. I couldn't pick the upset here. Duke, I like them a lot. Like you said, Nick, Marquette, really good team, really well coached. Shaka Smart, love him. I went with Marquette. And then on the other side of the bracket, what do we got? Houston and Kent State. Kent State's run ends here. Went with Houston. Iowa State and Texas. I went with Texas. Arkansas, UConn. I picked UConn. Arkansas still got that potential, though. And then I had a matchup of TCU and UCLA. Not sure why I eliminated Gonzaga, but I picked UCLA to go to the Elite 8. The craziness doesn't end there, though. Trust.
Oh, gosh. Here we go.
It gets worse. It definitely gets
man.
worse.
So we are now in the Elite 8. Leading off in my Elite 8, Alabama, Baylor. Alabama ends Baylor here. Really like Baylor, but Bama's got so much talent on that roster. I think everything's going to be clicking for them at the right time. Tennessee, Marquette. Give me Marquette in that one. I'm really drinking the Marquette Kool-Aid this year.
I think a lot of people
Tyler Kolak, baby. That guy.
Yep.
Ooh, he can
Great passer, too.
fantastic.
Hell yeah. UConn, Gonzaga. Give me the Huskies to the Final Four.
Wow.
I get even more interesting because I jumped over this one. Houston, Texas, horns up.
Wow.
Give me the horns, baby. Texas got some ballers. I think they got 4 dudes averaging 10 a game, and Dylan Mitchell. He kind of had a mid year.
I love Dylan Mitchell
such
so
a hooper.
much.
If his numbers were better, he would have been one of the players I wanted to watch, and I still want to watch him because he's still going to do some crazy things. I think he'll heat it up. So that makes my Final Four: Bama, Marquette, Texas, UConn. That's my 4.
I like that Final Four.
I like it too, Nick. I like it.
It's fun.
I got Bama losing second round, but I still
Anyway,
Your brain likes it, your heart hates it.
Yeah, exactly.
Elite Eight for me. I got Bama over Arizona. I have Duke over Marquette. This is where Marquette season ends. I think I'm high on them too, but just not as high yet. They're not as proven to me as Duke is. Miami's run ends here. Texas beats them. And then I have UCLA beating UConn.
Okay. So I think, Nick, I have 2 of the same Final Four teams as you. And Ben, I think I have 2 of the same Final Four teams as you. Not necessarily the same, though. So my Elite Eight matchup would be West Virginia against Creighton. I've got Creighton to the Final Four.
Wow. I don't hate it. It's fun.
I don't really know why. Duke against Marquette. I have Duke ending Marquette's run as well. Houston against Texas. I picked Texas. And then UConn, UCLA. I went with the local team. I went with the Huskies. So Creighton, Duke, Texas, UConn.
I do have UConn winning it all in another bracket. I will say that.
They got
How
that
many brackets do you have?
I have I think 3 or 4.
Jeez, this is the only year I made one. I made one this year, and I'm sticking with it.
Yeah,
That's
fair
valid.
All right,
Final Four.
the Final Four, baby. 1-seeded Alabama, 2-seeded Marquette going head to head. Close game, maybe OT. I think Bama takes it. Advances to the Natty. Texas, UConn. This one, this is a tough one. The past couple days, I've been flipping in my head. I'm going to say UConn with a hot streak. UConn to the finals. Okay. Bama versus UConn. We'll just go with Natty here. I think Bama wins it. I think they get it done this year. Young team, as you said, but I think if things click, I think they can do it. UConn is the more proven program. I think talent-wise, Bama's got it this year, if that's the matchup.
I agree. Bama's really good.
Yeah. Well, I also have Bama going to the Natty. They beat Duke here, which it's going to be a great game. And then my other pick it's Texas or UCLA. I went with UCLA, who will win the national championship. I have UCLA over Alabama.
Without Jalen Clark.
Call me crazy.
Woo!
No,
I'll make some Final Four Natty championship.
Yeah, that's
graphics
crazy.
That we'll put on social and shit.
This is crazy. I did this. This is ridiculous. This is probably my most ridiculous bracket. I've got a lot of them going. I got one that I really like, but it's on my phone. I just figured go with the paper one. Why not?
Hey,
so
it could be the first
my Final Four.
Bracket.
Well, this is not going to be it because I've got 6-seeded Creighton playing 5-seeded Duke in the Final Four. I've got Creighton to the Natty.
Wow. Creighton to the Natty.
I'm living in. I liked what I saw. Creighton in the preseason poll, they were like, I don't know, 9th. They had a hot start. They fell off a little. They're back. I don't know. I think they've got the talent. Is it ridiculous? Yeah, but I know it. I just figured why not take a shot. The other side, I've got 2-seeded Texas, 4-seeded UConn, so no 1-seeds in my Final Four. I went with Texas over UConn, which sets up 6-seeded Texas, 6-seeded Creighton, 2-seeded Texas. I went with the Longhorns to win the Natty in this one.
Wow.
I think Big 12
big Creighton fan isn't a big Creighton fan of the finals, man. Come on.
I
pick
think
Creighton. Go fucking crazy with it.
I don't know why. Go
crazy with it, man.
But
because you had Bama go down in the round of 32. That's what happened.
It's true.
I really like Bama. And I do think that if they don't get to Elite Eight, this season's a major disappointment. If Bama doesn't get to the Elite Eight.
I'm going to clip that of Beckett saying, I like Bama, and just use it forever.
Whatever, dude.
No, I'm kidding.
All right. So that pretty much wraps us up here. I mean, we're in that Beckett crazy stat era. I'm not sure if he's prepared. I might just have to ad-lib until he finds a crazy stat.
Crazy, not a crazy stat. FDU is up on Texas Southern 23-15 in the first.
No, I like my Texas Southern with 14-20 overall.
You're losing record Texas Southern?
Yeah.
Hey, why not?
Anyways, we're going to try to punch this video out either tonight or tomorrow morning so you guys can listen to what we all just said, right before the big games. And, you know what? If you are so inclined, DM us on Instagram with pictures of your brackets. We'd love to.
I'll make some graphics of our Final Four picks
Yeah.
Even
Oh,
Beckett's
God.
fun one. I'll make sure we have context for that one. I'll be like, Beckett went fun with this.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I got my stat if you want it.
Let's go.
go ahead.
Number 1 seeds. We're going back to Bama, West Virginia. Number 1 seeds are 70-6 against number 9 seeds. That's a 92.1% winning percentage. The only win by a 9 seed was the only win by a 9 seed in the past 8 years was when Florida State beat Xavier. That was in 2018. And hey, maybe it happens again this year.
Yeah,
West
maybe it
Virginia
happens
over
again.
Bama. Probably not, but maybe.
It's March, man. Shit's gonna
Where you
get mad.
It's gonna be crazy.